Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, dear Patti, dear family. I am delighted to kick off the night of ideas here, together with you, Linda, at the Brooklyn Public Library. After our virtual edition in 2021, what a joy it is to be able to meet again in person. And I welcome all of you, but some of you came here from the Manhattan headquarters of Villa Albertine, and thank you to all our brilliant speakers. But first of all, thank you, Patti. Thank you for introducing this evening with such a beautiful song. And a big thank you to you, Linda Johnson, and your team for hosting us and for taking part in this annual marathon series of exceptional conversations and debates in these troubled, uncertain times. I think that they are more necessary than ever. And I would like also to thank the Villa Albertine team, as well as the Institut Français, the Judy and Peter Bloom, Kovler Foundation, and Carnegie Corporation of New York, whose support helped to make this evening possible. And we continue to feel the collective effects, as we continue to feel the collective effects of the COVID pandemic. And in the context of this tragic war in Ukraine, sometimes it's hard to imagine our future. That's why it's even more important for us to hold events like this one tonight and to invite artists, intellectuals, activists and writers to ponder the question, where are we going? By listening to them and engaging with them, we will feel inspired to face a future that is uncertain, but also full of promise and meaningful connections. We are fortunate to have here with us this evening, with you, one of the most inspiring artists at work today, dear Patti Smith. Celebrated singer, songwriter, musician, author, photographer, poet, who just shared with us a beautiful song to kick off the night. France decided to pay homage to you, to pay tribute to you, dear Patti, by conferring upon you our highest distinctions, the Legend of Honor. And it's such an emotion for me to, as Ambassador of France to the United States, sorry I forgot to introduce myself, and to preside over this ceremony alongside so many friends and your family. Dear Patti, truly you need no introduction. Your name has become a cornerstone of the American and international global arts community, including and in particular in my country. You first rose to fame through your accomplishments as a musician and a singer. Your career took off with your first album, Horses, which, just like the rest of your albums, is a musical gem that was broadly acclaimed at home and abroad, and was awarded France's prestigious Grand Prix du Disque de l'Académie Charles Cros shortly after it came out. From the outset, poetry has been woven throughout your work. Your lyrical delivery combines powerful words with intense melodies. I have always felt that your close relationship with literature and the great poets of past centuries, Arthur Rimbaud in particular, has imbued your songs with a mesmerizing, evocative power. And the title musician alone, as I said, cannot convey the full range of your many talents. These talents have dazzled French audiences for many years now. In 2008, the Fondation Cartier in Paris devoted an exhibition to your work, Land 250, featuring your visual compositions. 2 years later, the French edition of your worldwide bestseller, Just Kids, which won the National Book Award. Was also lauded by French critics. And in 2020, your book, Year of the Monkey, was also translated into French, to the delight of French readers. You visit my country on a regular basis. You have even taken over a residence which is exactly at the place where Arthur Rimbaud and his family lived, perhaps to get closer to him. And I know the famous black and white photograph of Arthur Rimbaud was also an important revelation for you many years ago. I know that you have many wonderful things planned here in the US, in New York, in France in the next few months. I won't say any more about that as we eagerly await their confirmation. In any case, I am very happy to see that your creative collaboration with my country has only grown richer with each passing year. And in particular, in the context of the Night of Ideas, you are an outspoken advocate for humanitarian justice and for the environment. You have shown real courage in denouncing acts of war and injustice around the world. You have also made many public commitments, such as your commitment to the Pathway to Paris in New York, initiative in the context of the Paris Climate Agreement. And alongside Juliette Binoche, you also co-signed an op-ed calling on our societies to save the planet. Last year, in the midst of the pandemic, you supported our virtual Night of Ideas and welcomed us into the privacy of your own home through a wonderful video in which you suggested that the Night of Ideas was a time when, I quote, ideas are being formed and sent and digested and reimagined and sent back out. That is a perfect summary of the event that brings us together this evening, and I would like to take this opportunity to express my deep gratitude to you for joining us again in person this year. Dear Patti, your work is so rich, so unique, so free, so full of love for humanity. Your fondness for France is so deep and sincere. You have consistently pushed for greater dialogue around the world, while also taking the time to reflect. You are an inspiration for generations, and you represent the highest ideals, including of my country, of France. That is why it is a true pleasure for me to bestow upon you the Legion of Honor Award as an officer after a decision often on behalf of the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, knowing that you are already a proud Commandeur des Arts et Lettres since 2005. And now, I will proceed. Please, some silence. Patti Smith, au nom du président de la République française, Emmanuel Macron, je vous remets les insignes d'officier de la Légion d'honneur.
Thank you, my dear Ambassador. I feel like it's very fitting to have such an accolade here in Brooklyn. It's only a couple of subway stops away that Robert Mapplethorpe and I lived at 20 years old. And at night, when Robert couldn't sleep, he would ask me to read him French poetry. I read him Rimbaud and Verlaine and Genet and Nerval, and I still remember those nights so clearly. It's also fitting that it should be a library, because coming from a very rural area of South Jersey with very little culture in the 50s and mid-60s, I depended on the library to open and expand my world. And through books, I learned of the young Joan of Arc. I learned of her courage and her vision. I learned of Picasso painting Guernica in Paris, not far from the Notre Dame. I learned so many things of architecture and art and literature through the books in the library. And then in 1969, I saved my money, and my sister and I, at 21, took our first voyage out into the world. And of course, I went to Ma Bohème. I went to Paris. We went to Paris together, and I saw everything that I had read about. I saw the palette of Delacroix. I saw the kiss of Brancusi. I saw the Hotel Rubens where Genet would sometimes live. I walked down the streets where the poets walked. I went to the graveyards. We went together and saw where Proust was laid to rest, where Baudelaire was laid to rest. I saw the desk of Victor Hugo. I saw the street where Breathless was shot. I saw movies of Jacques Rivette and Godard and Bresson without subtitles. And I also wore a black slip in honor of Jean Moreau. I listened to Piaf and Juliet Greco. I saw Cocteau movies. My French education continued. And throughout my life, it has only magnified. And later in life, when I worked publicly, it was France, above all, who embraced us. We received, as you were saying, the prestigious award for horses. Horses has never gotten a gold record, but it got an award from France, and that for me was even more important. I have always felt welcome as a performer, as a poet, and always respected and loved. And I just feel to receive such an honor from a country and from your president and yourself, a country that your culture has so helped form who I am as a worker, and who I am as a person. I know that this medal says, it says in French of course, but it says honor and country. I am honored to receive this from the country that I've always loved, and unconditionally. But I would like to say one more thing. Today, May 21st, is the passing day of René Dumas, one of my favorite French writers. And this is only by coincidence. When I received my Commandeur medal, it was on the birthday of Proust, also a coincidence. And in honor of René Dumas, I would like to read his last letter only days before he died, of only 37 years old, of tuberculosis during World War II. He wrote to his wife, "I am dead because I lack desire. I lack desire because I think I possess. I think I possess because I do not try to give. In trying to give, you see that you have nothing. Seeing you have nothing, you try to give of yourself. Trying to give of yourself, you see that you are nothing. Seeing that you are nothing, you desire to become. In desiring to become, you begin to live." My ambassador, this medal makes me desire more than ever to earn it, to do good work, and to continue my long and unconditional love and my relationship with your beautiful country. Thank you.